here today to make an orange cake. We've got some basic ingredients here. We have my 2 oranges from my backyard. We have 6 eggs. We have 500 grams of self-raising flour. We have our 200 grams of sugar and 150 mils of vegetable oil. First things first, we're going to cut our oranges. Put our oranges straight into a blender. Using skin and all in this recipe. And in with half our oil. Now that we've blended our oranges, it's nice and well blended, we take this off. And as you can see, a nice texture that we've got here. We can take out our oranges out of our blender, and we can repeat the process again with the other orange. We're now going to do our eggs. So our eggs go straight into the blender. Eggs are nice and well blended and straight into the mixture. We're now going to add in our sugar and we're going to start to incorporate this all together. Beautiful colour. I love the look of it. I love the smell of it. This is going to be yummy for such a simple cake. Now that we're at this stage, we can start to incorporate our flour. Just working it around from the edges. Our main bit is in. We can add our rest of our flour. You don't want to work this very much at all, so you just want to incorporate everything. Doesn't need to be overworked. Don't use a whisk. As you can see, I'm just scraping around from the sides of the bowls, scraping into the center. It brings all the ingredients together, and as you can see, it's not far away from all coming together. And once we get to the stage that we roll it through and we can't see any dry ingredients left in there, that is it. That's our mixture ready to go. We now have our tin. We've just run a little bit of butter in there. You can use a little bit of cooking spray if you want. And we'll just put in a little bit of flour, and we're just going to shake this one around in our bowl. It's best to do when you just go over the sink. Just tap it into the sink all the way around. And as you can see, we've just lined it very nice. This is to stop it sticking on the side. So we can now go straight in with our ingredients. Oh, look at that, it looks so yummy. In we go. Oh, this is going to be divine. If you've got any leftover ingredients, just whack them into cupcakes or anything like that. It'll be beautiful. Smooth them out a bit on the top. And there we go. There's our orange cake ready to go into the oven. Enjoy. We're now going to put it into our oven. This oven I've got set on 180 degrees Celsius, a fan force oven around 170 degrees Celsius for roughly about 40 minutes. We'll see you soon. We're going to make some dried oranges. These are great little things, and we're going to use these for garnishes for our orange cake. So, very simple to make. All we need is an orange or 2 oranges. We're going to slice our oranges very thin, as thin as you can possibly do them. If you've got a mandolin, you can use a mandolin for these ones. You just want to do them like a mil thick, so very, very thin. So we're just going to chop these oranges very quickly. There's our lovely oranges cut. Very simply, all we need to do now is to place the oranges onto our tray. I'm using a silicone mat for this one. You can just use baking paper, it's perfectly fine, but we just want to spread out our oranges on the mat. We're now ready to put our oranges in the oven. We place them in the oven at 150 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we take our lovely oranges out of the oven. And all we need to do with our oranges is now flip over every single orange. They're already starting to dry out on one side. And then we're back in the oven for a further 15 minutes. Now that we've gone through another 15 minutes of drying our oranges, we'll take them out the oven again. We'll flip them over one more time. You can start to see that they're drying out. Lovely little bit of dryness about them. We'll flip them over again and we'll put them back in our oven on 100 degrees Celsius for another hour. Our oranges should now be ready. We take them out the oven and look at these lovely little bits of crispness. They're very, very crisp. Yum. Hi guys, welcome back. We're going to make some butter icing. This takes 2 ingredients, some butter, 250 grams of butter, room temperature, and some icing sugar, 375 grams. Very simple recipe. All we need to do is grab our butter, cut it up into smaller sized chunks and place in our bowl. And using a blender, we get our blender here, any sort of blender that you've got, a mixer, and all we need to do is switch our mixer on and start mixing. There we go everyone, 5 minutes later we have some lovely white butter, and that's all that's in it at this stage. We're now going to add about 1/3 of our icing sugar into the mix, and we're going to incorporate this into the mix. Now that that's fully incorporated, we're going to add another third of our icing sugar in. This gets thicker as we go along, gets a little harder to put in. And our last stage of our icing sugar, the last third, goes in. At this stage, we just make sure that the inside of our bowls are clean, and we take all the icing from the outside, we put into the center, into the middle, and we incorporate some more. And there we have it, our lovely butter cream. We're just going to take our orange cake out the oven. We've got our orange cake, we're going to turn it out onto our wire rack, upside down, and there we go. There's our orange cake. We're now going to ice our orange cake. First thing we do, we have our cake. We want to flip over the top and we want to make it nice and flat. So we grab our serrated edge knife and we just cut off evenly around. Just to make a nice flat top. This one we can put away, we can make some crumbs out of it and do something later. So we turn over our cake and we just want to put the icing onto the top. We're now going to use our oranges that we prepared earlier, our nice little crisp oranges, and all we're going to do with them is break them up. And then we're going to use these lovely ones all the way over, sticking in and out everywhere. There we have it, my orange cake.